I'm going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, to see what is going on today. I've brought love messages and I've brought Egyptian gods oracle cards, so I know it's quite the mix, but we're going to see what is going on. I'm going to go ahead and do a reading first for the divine feminine side, just to see what's going on. Remember, this is just a general reading, I always tell you, so please only take what resonates for your specific situation. This is why I encourage you to do the one-on-one phone calls with me on my website. I do twin flame readings and I do twin flame coaching. I'm also an energy healer. I have a ton of healing sessions, clearings, and activations to help you with your ascension journey, and of course the twin flame journey on my website. So if you need me, just go ahead and book me on sparksofdivinelighealing.com. Always go with what you're guided on there. It's all really going to help you. Happy 9/11 portal. Today is a great day to be working with the energies. It is so needed, especially as we have so many low frequency energies kind of flying around the field. So I think it's important that we are, tapping in. Okay. So I'm doing both piles now. We're just going to do a really quick reading for both and see what is going on. Tons of great healings up for today. We want to be raising our vibrational frequency and activating our energy, using these energies specifically too. So helpful. Okay, so I've got a reading for divine feminine, divine masculine. We're going to start with the divine feminine side of things and just see what is going on. Trying out some new cards, the one deck. Okay, so we have for divine feminine, law of attraction. You've been manifesting this relationship. Everything you want will soon be yours. And this is why I love to work with you guys, because I'm neutral. I don't want to say neutral, but when you're sitting there all of the time with your own thoughts, manifesting your life, sometimes we get a little stuck in it. Okay, so it can help so much to get someone to help you shift out of patterns, because a lot of times you may or may not notice these things. We like to think that we have conscious awareness of everything and kind of think our way out of things, but oftentimes we need to go deeper within the healing and we need to heal things on the energy level. So if you've had imprints in your energetic field or blocks, they can continue to replay in different ways in different areas of our life. However, I always remind you of your power, and I do a lot of trying to empower you to shift out of the blocks and things that have been kind of in your way, especially when it comes to relationships. So I always remind you, you are a powerful manifester. You are manifesting every second of your life. So why is it that when it comes to relationships, oftentimes unknowingly we're manifesting things that are not serving us, we can just say, or we're not really happy with, right? And this is sometimes the old kind of pulling us back. And so you are manifesting all of this, the entire experience, especially when it comes to twin flame, because twin flame tends to mirror us so much more. Regular people do too, but twin flame mirrors us on next level kind of twin flame mirroring. So they tend to mirror your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your energies, and even what you're thinking about in such a powerful way. But this is to teach us how to shift out of things very, very fast, or to heal certain issues. So if you go into this situation with the issues, they're going to come up. They're going to be triggered to the surface so that you could heal them, because you can't take them into union with you. And so that oftentimes with twin flame, there's a lot of work that goes with that so that you can shift into healthy, happy union with this person too. So for a lot of people, we have a lot of stuff coming up, and I feel it's the equinox. We're in between eclipses. We got the equinox going on. It can be triggering things to the surface because these energies amplify whatever's already going on. So if you're, I don't want to say having problems, having issues come up, they are coming up big time in this so that you can heal certain things. And also this is a spiritual awakening that's happening. So there's a lot of work happening fast in your life, kind of, we'll say behind the scenes and in one place too. So you're being guided to really, this is like solar plexus energy, to shift in, step into your power. And if you don't like something, to shift out of it or to change your situation. Have patience with this situation. Some things still need to be dealt with for this connection to manifest. I love that word manifest, right? Because it's exactly how it goes. And I was telling someone this morning, there's more work to be done. Like there is more work to be done for the divine feminine on yourself and your life. Now, this is a reading for everyone, right? But some of you guys, especially if you're in separation or even in union, you should be working on yourself in your own life too, okay? This could be anything from, your career, projects, home, whatever it is. You're being guided to really work on yourself and your side of things. There's more work to be done on your side, the divine feminine. This is the deep inner healing work that you're doing and the inner work too. But it's just stuff, so there's something kind of going on. A lot of you guys are wanting everything very, very fast, even though things can take time to manifest, or you need to continue to work on things till they manifest. So serious manifestation energy in this reading already. We know that, right? We're in the equinox. Things are manifesting fast, whether good or bad. All of your thoughts are manifesting into this situation. So very important that you're checking your thoughts, doing the inner work, and shifting out of deep-rooted patterns. A lot of negative thoughts and beliefs come from fear and past trauma of why we even go there. It just depends on why. So this could be also clearing negative energies from your own energy field, so they're not getting in the way of the connection, or clearing fear and fear-based thoughts from yourself so they're not manifesting into the connection and sabotaging it. Okay, so we got pay attention to the red flags. Okay, know the warning signs of what an unhealthy connection looks like. So I see, and usually I should just be quiet, but I'm not gonna. This is me. I've seen a lot of posts like talking about unhealthy connections and dynamics. This isn't meant to be like this. In fact, you guys have had karmic connections that were so unhealthy and they lasted a while. Generally, I've found with true twin flames, the second it gets there, it could be like one argument, separation land, jokes aside, right? And fast to pull back. This is not your karmic connection. This is a spiritual connection, and it's very divinely guided. And so the universe is using this to help you to clear all of the unhealthy ways that you are connecting. Now, the problem is as a collective, we've picked up a lot of negative programming. We have past life programs running. We have inner child programs, things from previous connections that we need to purge and clear and cleanse out of our system as part of our healing on the twin flame journey too. And so the universe is not going to allow this to be like past connections if they were unhealthy. Now, unfortunately, some people have an unhealthy way of relating and being in relationships and might have had some, negative connections in the past. So we're learning how to heal and rewire ourselves for healthy connection. And this is very, very important too. So make sure that you're also doing that work on how you're connecting with yourself and also with this connection, especially for the divine feminine side of things. You guys are learning boundaries, self-love, taking care of your energy, what you will and won't allow, working on yourself and working on your energy. And also, most importantly, I see through the collective, how you're connecting with your twin flame and also other people right now. Stay optimistic. Positive thinking and faith will bring romance into your life. So we need to shift out of any type of, right, I say bad attitude, negative thoughts. We're human, it happens, right? But learning how to shift out of these things. And sometimes this is as easy or simple as taking this a day at a time, checking yourself if you're going into the spins and spirals and a lot of negative thoughts, because you're manifesting the twin flame connection as you go too. So if you're sitting thinking about negative things, twin flame tends to play it out or mirror it back at you energetically, or to show you things that you need to heal. Your twin flame is the trigger. I don't like the word catalyst because it's a very karmic word, but they are the trigger for your awakening and also showing you what is still unhealed within your energy field so that you can do that deeper work to let things go, okay? So yes, it can stir up a lot of things, usually intense emotions, old traumas, triggers, wounds, whatever it is. Very important that you're healing the areas within yourself that need it so you can continue to raise up your vibrational frequency, because union is on a very high frequency all the time. Okay, express your love. It's important to let people know that you love them. You have nothing to lose. Some of you guys, I always just say, this could be getting vulnerable for the divine feminine. Sharing and expressing how you feel, getting vulnerable, being open, being honest about what's going on with you. And that can go huge ways for helping your masculine to open up and be more vulnerable. Closed off walls, right? Being open, being honest, it gives them space to do the same. but also to give them a good read on your side of things and how things are going. Maybe you're supposed to be sharing how you feel with this person or letting them know. Okay, so I brought these Egypt cards. I'm really excited about this. Okay, so first card, Ra. This is my favorite. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, and this is enlightenment, enlightening energy. So sometimes in order to get to enlightenment, we need to illuminate the shadows and the things in the way of us becoming, because what is to hold more light is to go into a higher frequency, to clear the shadows and the projections and inner wounds and things that are kind of weighing us down. And you're noticing that we're going through a powerful transformation during this time, both individually and collectively. And of course, stuff's kind of coming up to help us with that journey. And I love that because this is the path to enlightenment. I always love the symbolism. This is the spiritual journey, but also represents traveling between dimensions too. And the 9/11 portal is powerful for helping us to shift into higher dimensions and even realities. So you're on this beautiful spiritual journey to enlightenment. This is crown chakra energy and working on your connection with source, and anything you need to do to unblock that, and working on your spiritual connection so that you can open up your spiritual connection more to source energies and more of the crown chakra. Okay, so we have Ptah, and I love this because sometimes these are some of the main gods. I'm way into the Egyptian cartoons, right? Okay, so, and this is one of the main, we'll say, I don't want to say characters, I mean gods of the cartouche. So Ptah, skill, and I love this because this is also other symbolism that we see in our day, but this is like, you're being guided during this time to really step into your mission. You're needed like never before on this planet to keep your vibrational frequency high and to share your light and healing and magic and gifts with other people. And some of you guys need to stop playing small, and that you have powerful spiritual gifts and abilities. Some of you guys know that and you're sitting on them, or maybe you don't even know that and you're just waking up and you're tapping into them, but you have powerful gifts and abilities. Everyone's at different places that will find this video, and some of you guys need to share that with the planet. And sometimes it's just staying in that higher frequency helps the planet so much during this time, and not falling back into, everyone has different timelines going on and we can kind of resonate with where we fit. Staying in this higher resonance is going to help you and your twin flame. And so this can translate into many areas of your life. Twin flames are powerful light workers that came here through this healing, because twin flame is going to hopefully kickstart you on your healing journey if you're not already there, or trigger you to go a little deeper with it. And the reason being is because as you're healing yourself, you're helping to heal the collective too in a big way. And so sometimes it's, I don't want to say it's simple, but it's as getting deep within yourself, working on your spiritual awakening, healing yourself, and you're doing such a collective service, especially those that are anchored into these unions and are holding that. It's a very pure, high frequency, love and light energy. Okay, so we have Isis, and this is my favorite goddess. Of course, I say my mother goddess, and this is faith and wisdom, and this is a lot to do with healing. And, you know, we always say that making yourself whole again, right? Bringing back lost, fragmented pieces and soul aspects. Some of you guys are noticing that you have old timelines that you're anchored to and that are still open in your energy field. And you can tell oftentimes by, if you've been through a really traumatic experience, everyone raise your hand. If you've been through a lot of traumatic experiences that affected you, I mean, not in a good way, or if you find your thoughts traveling back to these places, especially at times of fear, like, oh, I hope this doesn't happen again, or whatever way this is, you're being guided to recover and to heal these aspects of yourself that need it, that were, I don't want to say lost along the way, fragmented along the way, so that you can reclaim your wholeness through healing in this time too. Energy healing is amazing for helping you to do that too. So this is also a lot of very spiritual energy in your life. You're being guided to kind of really, really put that energy and healing into yourself, into your healing, and into your spiritual awakening during this time. And as you are, the twin flame journey, as you're cleansing yourself and clearing yourself out, because twin flame goes through a lot of purging and clearing and cleansing, you're going to notice that you get so many downloads, divine knowledge, things that are helping, you know, to fill in the pieces with yourself and everyone else. Okay, so we have Hathor, and this is intelligence. And I love this because she represents obviously the goddess energy and Venus energy too. So for this message, really shifting into, really shifting into your divine feminine energy and choosing love as a path. And like some of you guys were or thought you were, this is really choosing love as a path. We have different pathways that we can travel while we're here. And Twin Flame helps you to do that through focusing on your Twin Flame journey. This is the true path, and it's very, very rewarding, but it also makes you to heal distortion, blocks, and wounds and things in your field so that you can fully, I don't want to say arrive, but be in that energy too. And so this is very, very powerful, especially as we have these powerful two goddesses, and allowing these goddesses to guide you on your journey and really staying true to your path, to Twin Flame and to union. So we have Amon Ra, and this is creation, and we had a lot of focus for Divine Feminine on manifestation and taking responsibility. A lot of Twin Flame, some of you guys may blame Divine Masculine for the other side of things, even though it's always you who is setting everything into motion, right? And to empower yourself and to shift out of any blame, victim consciousness. A lot of times DM plays their role or plays out a certain script, and it triggers a lot of unhealed aspects and wounds. So we love to place that upon the Divine Masculine, even though if you go deeper, these were things that were already in your field, whether from previous connections, hurts, wounds, inner child. They were things already going on within your field that they kind of come along and trigger or re-trigger. This is why it's very painful. But actually, these are things within our energy field that we need to see. And so Divine Masculine has played out however they have to give you more awareness of yourself, your own healing, and things you need to kind of work on within yourself, which can feel painful. But if you get honest with yourself, you've already been carrying those painful patterns and energy. And it's only through that awareness that you can really, really heal and work on or work through these layers or things kind of coming up too. And so this is clearing projection so that you can see things more clearly too within the Twin Flame dynamic, and to heal these so that you can, this is all about, obviously we talked about manifestation work and manifesting better moving forward, and clearing all of the limiting beliefs and patterns that may have come up, manifesting things that we don't always like. And then this is also for this is to shift into the higher frequency through doing the healing work for the Divine Feminine so that you can manifest better. Because what blocks our manifestation, I say powers, gifts, and abilities, is the blocks and the wounds and the things that we think that get in the way. And so you're being guided to strip all of that away so that you can fully empower yourself. This is about someone really getting out of that, this is happening to me, and realizing that you're manifesting this as you go, and getting into that level of power where you can really not just take accountability for your healing, but what you're manifesting, but to do better at it. So I see a lot of people kind of get stuck in life in general with learning how to do this and how reality works, and getting on that level. And healing is everything that kind of takes you there and gets you where you want to be in life in general too. So a lot of shifting out of the old programming for this reading. Sorry, my cat's eating me. And things like that. We're going to do Divine Masculine side of things now. Let's do a reading for the Divine Masculine. Take your power back. You're giving someone control over how you feel. Your happiness should only depend on you. And this is also for the Divine Masculine side, them blaming the Divine Feminine, because Divine Feminine triggers them in such a way. They are the trigger to their awakening too. They trigger the Divine Masculine in such a way that they have a whole tsunami of emotions come up. We call that purging. Things to purge out on their side too. So they often blame the Divine Feminine for making them feel not very good, right? And things like that. But we're learning to regulate ourselves without all the unhealthy ways we've been regulating our energy. I'm not going to go into that list. There's been a lot of, for Divine Masculine, unhealthy ways that you've been feeling good, and it's not very good for you. So you're learning how to regulate your own emotions and things like that. So when Divine Feminine triggers a lot of things, and it could be pointing out things you need to heal, patterns, or just seeing these things within yourself from the mirroring effect of Twin Flame too, it doesn't always feel very good. A lot of yucky energy comes up to clear and cleanse for both. And so we have this kind of, and then this card will go with it. Beware of codependency. Addictive behaviors are affecting your romantic life. This is how you connect with women sometimes in general, or use women to feel better. Okay. Could be in past connections or ones around you now. It could be literal addictive behaviors. Some of you guys, and this is where Ascension is going to take you. It's going to make you purge out everything unhealthy in your life, and not all at once, even if it's like smoking, drinking, drugs, substances, prescriptions, all that. I'm not going to go into that. But also it could be how you're using technology and social media. We see that coming up for the masculine too, and connecting in that way. And it could be just how you're spending your time, what you're eating, what you're watching, who you're around. And all of this stuff comes to the surface for the divine masculine, and you begin to have to do that deeper level of work and things like that too. So this is some type of blocks affecting the twin flame union on some type of way. Some masculines are trying to use the divine feminine and the energy of the twin flame connection to feel better too, and taking or pulling too much energy off the divine feminine, or connecting a little too much, right? And it tends to zap them, and it just kind of depends, because you're used to connecting in such a way. And so it's also about your energy. This is why I feel it actually can be very beneficial separation stage for twin flames, to get in your own energy without the other. And to really, really do that high level of energy work and things like that too, because codependency is like a little too wrapped up in the other. And I mean on the energy level too. So sometimes codependency is a red flag, and things like that. And so this could be how you're connecting and things like that. A lot of times codependent, I think of codependent as a lot of you guys might have had narcissistic connections in the past, an attracted unhealthy dynamic because of codependency. And this is just being addicted to another person. In one of my books, I wrote a lot about love addiction, right? And using other people to feel good, and that it could be worse than a drug if we're in the wrong connections and things like that. It could be really bad for your energy and stuff like that too. So codependency, it could be attracting situations for this masculine watching this of women who are mothering you and trying to do everything for you, or were very controlling. Or it could be the other end of it too, where you're that way in your connections too, and it could be literally controlling tendencies and being a little too wrapped up in the other and what they're, controlling what they're doing with their life. So we have this codependency card where you're being guided to get away from any codependent, unhealthy dynamics in your life, and this could be in many different ways. Oftentimes codependency doesn't start in childhood. It doesn't start in relationships. It starts in childhood, and going back deeper to the relationship patterns that we've developed or picked up in childhood, and how they've turned into how we connect, obviously, on an adult level. You are untangling yourselves from connections that might be either zapping your energy a little too much, or you might be zapping the other person's energy too much. You're enough. Sorry, cat hair. Okay, you're enough. The person you're meant to be with will love you the way you are. You don't need to change. Your twin flame is going to see a little too much about you, like any other connection, and they're going to love you unconditionally. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't be working on yourself, because we should be working on ourselves, right? But they're going to see you on such a deep level like never before. Open yourself to others. This is how you'll create new friendships and attract a love relationship. So a good example of codependency is we get in a connection and we suddenly don't have time for our own hobbies, passions, or friends, becoming an unhealthy connection, right? Make sure that you're nurturing, I call them soulmate connections. Make sure that you're nurturing soulmate connections. This is going to help you with friends and other people, with, having a healthy spectrum or range of connection in your life, and you're noticing that. And having the right people around you will help to motivate you and to have good connection. Some of you guys are needing that if you're in separation, to nurture other connections for support. Open your eyes. If someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. You're being guided to open your third eye for this one. Pay attention to your dreams, insights, things you're picking up on the higher level. This is a divinely guided connection. Make sure that you're paying attention to the spirit messages that you're picking up on. This is message to really open your third eye more and to work with it. But if you are picking up on things, pay attention to it. This could be divine masculine seeing red flags. I don't use that word. Seeing patterns with their divine feminine, and setting boundaries. Some of you guys are having to set boundaries with your divine feminine because they might have some unhealthy patterns going on and you're not needing them to play them out on you, or accept certain behavior after you've healed so much, or to be pulled back to the old through some of these toxic patterns and stuff like that too. So pay attention to things that might be coming up. There's a lot of work that comes up both solo and within the connection. So you got two people that are working through some of their same issues, obviously, in connections. And so, you know, you're seeing those issues, but this is giving your divine feminine space to work through their own issues, a lot of this reading. And so that you're not enabling them or turning this into a codependent dynamic where divine feminine is expecting you to do their work. You're giving them space to do their own work. And you might be seeing their patterns coming up, and, you know, they have to work through certain things. Okay. Apophis, darkness. We are in the shadow. We're in the equinox, is my favorite. We're in equal balance, so that we're going into the darker half of the year. We can tell by things that are coming up. There's a big purge, okay? Don't even, just focus on your own purging, right? Focus on your own stuff coming up. This is the shadow. A lot of people haven't done enough shadow work, and they really don't like those spaces. It makes them uncomfortable, awkward, whatever you want to call it. And this is actually needing to go into the darker aspects, patterns, and things to transmute some of these things. So you might be kind of feeling that. Loving the graphics on this card too. Look at the bottom, we have the snake. You're the snake, right? Okay, we're in the 9 right now. Okay, we're in the 9-month, 9-year. You're the snake. We're shedding. We're releasing all that is no longer serving us. And I love this because I'm going to go a little deeper. It's the infinity, right? Twin flame snake. It's the infinity symbolism, which twin flames really, that's the twin flame symbolism. So we have cleansing and clearing. And this is where we know the leaves drop and let go of everything on the trees. And this is what we do too right now. like we haven't fully gone into the equinox, but with the equinox, we're releasing old energies and clearing. And we do that through the winter to make space for the new. But I love it because in the darker part of the year, you're going to get more, our dreams get more profound. We connect with the spiritual more in the darkness, by the way. And like with the planet and things like that. So you're going to have vivid dreams. You're going to get messages. Make sure you're protecting your energy. I just did a video earlier on this. There's a lot of negative energy flying around the collective. I know, it's all how it is around here. Make sure that you're protecting your energy. I have tons of healings on my website that will help you with that. So this is like for someone that might be an empath, energy sensitive, or just maybe you're really hardwired up to the collective and you're feeling things on the collective level on the planet living here, and it might be affecting your vibration and your energy. It could be your twin flame situation too, that you're sensitive to things happening on your divine feminine side and that you're needing to protect yourself, because if they're purging a lot and projecting a lot your way, it can make you, feeling that and picking that up. So this is for someone that needs to protect and shield their energy. Picking up energy is not your own in some way. I have tons of protection healings, obviously, on my website. If you go with the search bar, you can type in things and find everything you need there. Okay. Oh, and when you do that, less negativity will hit you in life in general, right? Okay. We need that living on the planet during this time. Okay. Nafartam, completeness. And I love this because something is coming full circle with the symbols. Something is coming full circle with your twin flame situation. This could be also, so we have completing karmic cycles that are happening big time this month. With my infinity symbol, this is, with the infinity symbol, we're closing out and completing karmic cycles. So there's some type of cycle that has played out with your twin flame journey, with your twin flame, with the situation, or with the overall connection. You guys actually together are going to wrap up any karma that's going to come up within the energy fields when you try to merge together. We have two people trying to merge together, and even if you haven't fully yet, you're kind of orbiting each other and coming together. Your chakras are always communicating and speaking to each other. And even when you fully merge more, oftentimes before you do, it's like preparation. So any type of, each person has blocks, wounds, traumas, karmic imprints in the energy field. When you come to try to merge, they're going to come up for each person or together with how, I don't want to call it a script, but how the script or narrative will play out with both of you. There are karmic undertones in every single experience that we're having on Earth, of course. And so this is some type of karmic nature to your union. Whatever's happening, whatever's playing out, this stuff is coming up to be closed out or to resolve. Something really karmic may have come up for, obviously, within the connection. It just kind of depends on what it is. This is why sometimes twin flame will come in and play out your karma or karmic narratives or familiar narratives that you've been through with karmics. It just kind of depends. Something is coming up that for closure, like you've kind of been through a huge cycle with this person. So whenever we go through the cycles, like 9/11 is all about new beginnings, by the way. Starting over and kind of moving forward anew. I always say just kind of moving forward from the place that you're at, no matter what's come up or what you've been through or whatever's happened. So we have Tawat, and this is Genesis, and I like this too because it's always, we can get into the undertones and things like that. So a lot of with these messages, what I'm seeing on these cards, and the same with this one, Sabak, because we see the symbolism. Okay, Divine Masculine, you are here to do your shadow work and to release lower versions of yourself. Like if we had a timeline for every version of ourselves that you have ever been or every potential, you're here to, I don't want to say climb, ascend, climb your way out of these lower timelines and ascend into the higher ones where you're a higher version of yourself. This is why the most important, and the Egyptians knew this, the most powerful work we can do is on ourselves and becoming a better person. I didn't want to say different, but becoming a better version of ourselves. And as you're changing and going through this snake energy, the very transformative, becoming different versions of yourself and higher layers and higher version of yourself, you're going to have much better union timelines, because this is a twin flame reading, and even timelines in your life. Okay, so you're here to do that work, and this is important that you are releasing lower frequencies in your life from within your energy field and continuing to work on your spiritual awakening and ascension. And that is what twin flame is about. It is about helping you with your ascension by giving you what you need. And I like this. And then so back to this card, this is almost like and I love it because it's like the book. This is literally first chapter. It's like new chapter. This is new chapter, starting over, starting a new book, right? You're on chapter 1 like that. Okay, so we have Sabak, union and power. And so we talked a lot about, because this is mirroring the Divine Feminine side, and I love the symbolism too. Anyways, this is all about union, but also an empowered union. And we talk about this, not your codependent from the earlier cards, codependent connections of your past with these karmics that were holding you down, zapping your energy and zapping your power in some type of way. They weren't good for your energy. We could even go a little bit into draining you, codependent, maybe latched onto you in some way. And I mean like attachment. So you've had connections that were very rooted in attachment and weren't good for your energy. And they mirrored the partner's codependence, but also your own, or you wouldn't have been in these situations in the past. And that this is so different. Your union is meant to empower you. It's meant to get you to really, really work on leveling up your energy, getting in the higher frequency, working on your spiritual awakening, working on ascension, working on the man that you are becoming but meant to be, through doing this powerful, transformative, I call it inner alchemy work, of really, really doing that energy work. This is why actual energy work, I'm like, hit my website up. Actual energy work is such an important part of this process that we go through. And for twin flame, to shift you into this beautiful, empowered union with your divine feminine. And your divine feminine, she's the initiation trigger energy. I hate that word, but energy, right? She's here, and it's a powerful energy for you in your life, just to be around her for your own transformation and inner transformation. But it's going to require you to take back your power on every level, whether this is ways that you haven't fully within yourself or even within your union, so that you can really, really be in that your own frequency, that higher frequency yourself, not depending on your divine feminine to lift you up or take you there, because it can be draining for the divine feminine. You need to really, really get into that frequency on your own through doing this frequency work to really, really come into balance, because that's what twin flame is about. It's not about this disempowering connection that we've been taught with society programming. It's all about balance with each other, and that balance between the divine feminine and masculine, and to really, really be equals in that dynamic. And I mean on the energy level too. So this reading It's all about ways you still need to put in the work, take back your power, and to shift into and stand in this higher frequency divine masculine. Okay, I'm going. And I know have lots of beautiful healings and activations up for today. I do all of the time anyways. You guys can always do anything on my website anyways. Have a beautiful day. Need me, just go ahead and book healings on my website. Need a reading? Perfect place for it.